Welcome to Mainland's Television Regional News. I'm Graham O'Brien, and today's news: Tally's sentence for crewman's death announced, youth airlifted, home loan affordability report, and more. Nelson Company Tally's Group Limited have been sentenced over the death of crewman Kane Adams, who died after falling nearly 7 metres down an unsecured hatch aboard the fishing vessel Captain M.J. Souza in Nelson in May 2012. Tally's Group Limited was fined $48,000 and ordered to pay $35,000 in reparation to the family of the crewman. The company was sentenced in Nelson District Court on Wednesday this week after being found guilty in March of failing to take all practical steps to ensure the safety of its employees after the death of crewman Kane Adams. The reparations ordered are in addition to a payment of $54,000 already made by the company to the family. Kane Adams died while working on the Captain M.J. Souza after he stepped onto a hatch on the main deck that rotated, causing him to fall nearly 6.9 metres through another open hatch into the deck below to the floor of the vessel's fish well. Maritime New Zealand prosecuted Tally's under the Section 6 of the Health and Safety in Employment Act 1992. Following a defended hearing, the company was found guilty on the 23rd of March in the Nelson District Court. In his judgment this week, District Court Judge Ian Mill said the company either foresaw the risk but did not take all reasonable practical steps in the circumstances of this case, or ought to have foreseen the risk and failed to do so. Maritime New Zealand Director Keith Munch said lessons must be learned from the accident, and their thoughts are very much with the family of Kane Adams, who leaves a partner and 6 children, for whom this case will have been extremely difficult. But the whole of the maritime sector must heed the lessons of this case. Adams' death was the first of 2 on the Captain M.J. Souza. This sentence comes as Tally's face a similar charge relating to the death of another employee, popular crew member 27-year-old Leighton Muir, who was killed instantly when aboard the Captain M.J. Souza while fishing last year on Sunday the 24th August 2014. He died as a result of being struck by a breaking high-tension net wire while fishing near the Kiribati in the Pacific Ocean. A year before his death, Leighton had featured in the Seafood New Zealand article. He was quoted as saying that at the age of 22, sick of earning poor money, he left his family farm to work for Tally's, and he said he almost immediately regretted the time he had missed, saying he loved it and should have done it years ago. Local Government New Zealand met with the Ministry of Finance and Trade MFAT to discuss local government. They raised concerns about the implications a Trans-Pacific partnership may have on local governance throughout the country. I spoke with Lawrence Yule, President of LGNZ and Mayor of Hastings, on his discussions with MFAT. Thanks very much for taking the time, Mr Yule. I know you're very busy, you're rushing from one meeting to the other, I was told.
Yes, I am. Right.
So thanks very much. As you understand, you know that we're very concerned about the TPP and the effects it will have and the impacts it will have on our local, not only our country, but our... we understand you had a meeting with the Trade Minister regarding the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement and how it will impact on us and the local councils in particular. Can you please tell us what came from that meeting, if you could please?
Well, I mean, we asked for some reassurances, which we were given, effectively to say that, and I asked a direct question, would there be any negative impacts on local government? And the answer was no. We actually left the meeting quite satisfied with the answers we got, and in fact I'm just about to communicate that with the members across New Zealand. And the Minister has agreed to come and explain the position of the government to local government in the next few months.
The leaked chapter in January, the investment chapter, applies directly to local government, and this has been accepted with most of the provisions of the chapter. So this is one of the chapters that is directly impacts on local government, yet the Minister is saying that it doesn't really apply directly to local government in your statement. So you can understand, we're still getting the same message that we got years ago, and you've got a lot more confidence than a lot of people, including up to 10 of your councils now that have signed the resolution.
No, I accept that, but and I do have to take confidence. I do have to have face-to-face confidence with people I'm looking in the eye who are giving me direct answers. Equally, he indicated that a lot of the leaked material has been superseded in terms of thinking and negotiating positions. And I would imagine that's the case because, we elect governments and we elect people to make decisions on New Zealand Inc.'s behalf. And there's no reason to suggest that they would try and sabotage our ability to do things in New Zealand. And on the direct questioning of would it have any implications for local government, the answer was no.
But we know, all right, we know directly that it does have influence on local governments throughout the world. I mean, the latest one is in Canada, where they're suing a local environmental panel. Would it not be prudent now to maybe seek some independent advice on its implications?
Well, we get asked to seek independent advice on all sorts of things. We make the judgment about how significant it is for the sector. At the moment, I'm not convinced that it's that significant for the sector.
You're not convinced that the biggest negotiation, supposedly a trade negotiation, is significant for the sector, Mr.
We
York?
have lots of trade negotiations.
Yes, we do, but this is bigger and better, and supposedly better, but it's definitely bigger than we've ever seen before. So there's implications will be huge. And considering it's a trade negotiation, only 5 of the articles are about trade. So it's these behind the border regulations that these countries are being sued all around the world that we are really, really worried about. And we wish that you'd take on these concerns and maybe take some...
I think we are taking on the concerns. We've met with the Minister. He's outlined to us there is nothing to be concerned about for local government, and he said he will go and talk to a meeting yet to be arranged of the sector. I don't actually think we can actually do much more at the moment.
Well,
and he's offered to come and front up, and we'll take him up on that offer.
Well, I think the only thing that you could do is to seek independent advice on its implications. I mean, would you do that to satisfy the citizens and a lot of your own councils, Mr. Yule?
Well, that's a decision for the board of Local Government New Zealand, and his letter will be discussed at our next meeting. But I'm not going to preempt what the board will decide to do about the issue you've just raised. Sure.
Mr. Lawrence Yule, thank you very much for your time. We really wanted to hear more, but thanks for spending the time with us, and thanks for getting the answers that you could.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Robert.
Thanks. Local governments around the country have been introduced to the People's Resolution, designed to outline the concerns people have over the TPPA and the Investor States dispute process and the ability to sue government. 10 councils, including Nelson, have adopted the People's Resolution, with the latest one doing so being Palmerston North last week. I caught up with Greg Rezniewski, who has been travelling the country on a mission to talk to local councils about the implications of the TPP that have been exposed from the secret agreement through leaked documents. Greg, it's great to see you, great to catch up with you. You're just passing through. You've been very busy since the Nelson and Tasman councils passed the resolution. Can you tell us a bit more about your story from that time and what's been going on?
Thank you very much, Graham. Well, I've been on the road for a year.
Yeah.
It's a year. Christchurch, we went and addressed the Christchurch Council on the 24th of April 2014. And so I mentioned that in our most recent presentation yesterday when I was in the North Island in Palmerston North and talking to the council there. And I said, well, to them that I'd been on the road for a year in this project, and it's been quite an interesting period of my life. You know, it's 1/50th of my life. I'm 56, so, you know, and it's all started here in Nelson, right? Because Auckland Council volunteered to get involved in TPP, but it was Nelson where the people got involved and said to the Nelson City Council, you need to look at TPP and protect our interests. And from there, they adopted the Auckland Council's TPP policy solution. And then you and the other Nelson activists pushed the renewables and me into the lobby on the Tasman District Council. And they carried the resolution in March of last year, 6th of March. And then I wrote on behalf of the renewables and TPP action generally to all councils. So there's 78 councils in New Zealand. I wrote to all of them, and over three days, it took a while, there's a lot of writing, and they all didn't say yes immediately, and we've gone to work from there. And the first council following from that was Christchurch in August, and they adopted the decision or the policy solution unanimously. And then it flowed to Dunedin, and a couple of days later, the 18th of August, and they had quite a debate, and the mayor had to vote twice. He had to use his casting vote, and so the ultimate vote was 7 votes to 6 in favour of the policy. Yeah. And that gave us 5 councils, right, and a spread between the North Island and the South Island. But the only North Island council was Auckland, though Palmerston North and also Horizons Regional Council had carried other resolutions. And so after Dunedin, I came up here at the behest of TPP Action in the North Island in Wellington, and I presented to the Wellington Council on the 27th of August, and then worked for about 4 months with TPP Action, setting up different groups, helping them with their lobbies on councils, and developing lots of evidence to put before councils in their various forums, so deputations, also intervening in their public forums, and we got another 5 councils to endorse the policy. So Wellington City Council early this year in February, followed by Hutt, Upper Hutt, Kapiti Coast District Council on the 16th of April, and then yesterday Palmerston North City Council. Thank you very much, Palmerston North City Council, and thank you very much and big congratulations to all the activists at Palmerston North. There was 40 people in the public public gallery. You know, it was a brilliant turnout, and like we had a good chat afterwards in the local Tomato Cafe about where we were going next with that.
The AMP 360 Home Loan Affordability Report tracks the lower quartile selling prices of homes in each region of the country, along with the median after-tax income of typical first home buyers, typically a working couple aged 25 to 29. It then estimates what their mortgage repayments would be on a lower quartile priced property, with repayments totaling less than 40% of their net income considered affordable and repayments of more than 40% of their net income considered unaffordable. Auckland is, unsurprisingly, at the top of the unaffordability ladder for most home buyers, with Nelson in 5th place, where the mortgage repayments on a lower quartile price home would take up 25.7% of a first home buying couple's after-tax income, well under the 40% affordability limit. After Auckland, the next most expensive region is Central Otago, followed by Canterbury and Wellington. The report also highlights the difficulties that may be faced by couples with young families who may want to move up the housing ladder for their first home at the lower quartile price to a medium-priced home. The model for the couple with a young family is based on the median income for a couple aged 30 to 34 with 1 child, where the male works full-time and the female works part-time, earning 50% of a full-time wage. It is assumed that they would have a 20% deposit for a medium-priced house, either because they have saved the money or accumulated sufficient equity in their first home. Unfortunately, the figures show that house prices in Auckland and Queenstown would be too high for them to be able to afford to step up into a medium-priced home. However, such a move should be affordable for a young family in all other parts of the country, like Nelson, according to the report, where their mortgage payments would be under 40% of their net income. However, outside of Auckland and Queenstown, the mortgage payments on a medium-priced home in Nelson Marlborough would take up 35% of the young family or couple's net income, compared with Canterbury, who would take up 37.7%, followed by Wellington with 35.4%, with the lowest being Southland on 18% net income. That means a young couple would be able to keep moving up the property ladder in most parts of the country, even if they have a reduced income during their early child rearing years. We asked some people on the streets about home affordability in the region. What do you think of the affordability of people trying to buy their first home?
Oh, it's just not going to happen. I mean, we're a family with 3 kids. We have a 14-year-old right down to a 6-year-old. There's just no way for us that we could even look at putting together a house deposit on an average income.
Yeah, it's really scary, isn't it?
Well, it says a sad thing for the state of housing for couples and families. I mean, I just don't think it's ever going to happen. I really don't.
Oh, and Nelson, it pretty high it sounds like, because I'm planning on going to uni to study some primary school teaching, and then I'll come out with a big student loan, so probably just live with mum for a while until I can afford a house. Yeah.
It is difficult, but then again, I don't know of a time when it hasn't been difficult for first home buyers. It is always difficult, but I understand they're putting in place now some more structures to allow first home buyers to get access to the market. So we'll see what the government, see how that unfolds.
Well, it can be quite tough for everyone because to get the 20% deposit as it is in today's day and age, people struggle with money, as you know, and it's quite tough to get through that, yeah. So I think it's really hard to get the 20% deposit.
I think for people on an income of, say, lower than 100,000 a year, or, which most people are on far less than that, there's nothing left over. People are living pay to pay. Yeah. So, it's just not possible anymore.
What do you think about parents having to help their child into their first home with a deposit or go guarantor?
If they're in a position to be able to help their family that way, then, it's a sad thing that that's what it's come to, but, it's great for families if they are able to do that. It's sad that that's our only option now, so, yeah.
Possibly. I don't know, mum and dad are pretty supportive, so they'll probably let me live with them for free for a while, maybe a bit of rent, but...
Parents have helped their children in the homes for many, many years. That's nothing new either. So, and let's hope that can continue, of course, because it keeps a family together. It might put a strain on some relationships, but it is important that parents, if they can help their children onto this real estate ladder, which would be good. Yeah,
sure. I don't know in New Zealand, but like in some cultures, parents do that. Like in my family, I own a home with my mum and dad, so it's pretty good because we went into a joint tenancy kind of thing. So we own a property in Blenheim, but now I'm staying here in Nelson, so I'm renting another place. It's really tough paying the mortgage and being a full-time student at the same time.
I think again it depends a little bit, doesn't it? I think again you're in this situation where assuming your parents are well enough off to be able to do that, but again for our generation we're struggling to just make ends meet and get there for the kids and allow them to do all those other things they want to do, play sports and learn to play an instrument or something, and so there's nothing, we don't have any savings. If you're fortunate enough to have a KiwiSaver or a superannuation scheme happening, actually that's just going to pay off the mortgage.
Do you feel the Minister of Housing's new laws streamlining the RMA Acts for new builds will really help?
I don't know enough about it, but they are trying. They are trying. Some of the rules are just so archaic. It's a nonsense. But I think the young ones are very lucky having the interest rates they are at the moment. I remember when we were 22% to borrow for a house. So, yeah.
I think it will help a lot of people because, like, being on a standard income and when you haven't got a lot of income coming in, it will really, really help. Yeah, especially these days when a lot of people only are on the basic income, really. They don't get paid $1 million a year and kind of thing, So, yeah.
I don't think so. I think the new plans with KiwiSaver will certainly assist some people and certainly get people into homes quicker, but I don't think in the long run it's going to make a huge difference. I don't see any real changes happening in terms of affordability anytime soon, at least.
Hey, great. Sounds Air has announced its plans to expand regional seats on the flights to 100,000 over the next year. They will be including daily flights between Wellington to Taupo within the next few months, along with existing routes to Whanganui, Blenheim, Nelson, Picton and Paraparaumu. Sounds Air will deliver an estimated 100,000 seats a year of regional air capacity. On Wednesday evening, a 16-year-old male had to be airlifted from Takaka to Nelson Hospital after sustaining head and suspected spinal injuries as a result of a fall from his scooter while riding at the local skate park. The Nelson Marlborough Rescue Helicopter answered the call out to Takaka around 5:30 p.m. Want to have your say about Census 2018? Well, Statistics New Zealand wants to hear your views about the next census and is inviting you to take part in an online discussion forum open from 30th of April to the 10th of June 2015 via their website. This is the first time Statistics New Zealand has engaged online with the public about the content of census, and it is an important step in ensuring the 2018 census is relevant for New Zealand. Statistics New Zealand has developed a preliminary view of content for the 2018 census based on its review process to date. The online forum will be structured around these topics, with current thinking, including proposed changes, a starting point for discussion. Statistics New Zealand is encouraging people to respond to its initial recommendations, share their views and discuss issues that matter to them with other Kiwis. The best opportunity to influence census content is to make a formal submission, which will be open from 18th of May until the 30th of June. Statistics New Zealand will need to find the right balance between making changes to better reflect New Zealand today and being able to compare data over time. Factors such as length and complexity of the questionnaire will also need to be considered. Following consultation, Statistics New Zealand will analyse the submissions and aim to confirm final content for the 2018 census in early 2017. The online discussion forum will be live from Thursday the 30th of April to Wednesday the 10th of June. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Hi everyone, I'm Malcolm Harris from The Facilitators. We now look after sales for mainland TV, radio, Sky and online. New Zealand On Air's latest Colmar Brunton survey confirms mainland's large multimedia audience. If you're in business or want to put a message out to everyone in the Nelson Tasman region, plus nationwide on Sky or worldwide online, please give me a call or see our website at www.mainlandtv.nz.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialist, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
.1 The Shed.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
Discover the Belgrove Tavern, just 20 minutes south of Richmond on State Highway 6. A restaurant, functions, weddings, barbecue, garden bar with lots of room for kids. Come in, see us.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979. So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Victory 60 Plus is on Tuesdays at 1:30 through to 3:30 p.m. at 238 Upper Vanguard Street. You can join in for cards, games and a cuppa. For more information you can contact Jan on 546 9057 or 027 4577 955.
On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonneau covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
Discover the Belgrove Tavern, just 20 minutes south of Richmond on State Highway 6. A restaurant, functions, weddings, barbecue, garden bar with lots of room for kids. Come and see us. World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more.
JCar. 120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
I'm Francis from Nelson Auto Glass. We repair all auto glass, stone chips, windscreen replacements, scratch removal.
If you have an auto glass issue, our team will sort it.
Nelson Auto Glass Specialists, 84 Vanguard Street, Nelson.
Nelson Tire Centre. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
I'm Larry London from VOA Music Mix, bringing you news on the hour from around the world, plus music 24/7, from the latest hits to those classic favorites to jazz on Saturday mornings, plus much, much more. You can contact us by Googling Mainland TV or follow us on Facebook. Cheers from the team at Mainland Radio 1 and VOA Music Mix.
Rats, stoats and possums are killing our native birds and reptiles. You can stop this tragedy.
The Brook Waimarama Sanctuary is building a pest-proof fence which will allow native wildlife to flourish and spread into our lives.
Help us preserve our native wildlife.
Your support is needed now. You can personally or as a group sponsor a fence post for as little as $100, including the legacy of a personalised plaque.
Go to thebrooksanctuary.org or give us a call.
And be part of this exciting community project.
The Brook Waimarama Sanctuary, returning nature to the Nelson region.